right. Hello, Team Nourished. We have a very special call today. We're going to be doing a Coach Basics training. So basically what Coach Basics is and it's a refresher for those of you who aren't brand new. But if you are brand new, hopefully I will clear up some mud when we talk about specific words. Because just like with any business, we have our own lingo, and what each thing means is different in different businesses. And so I want to explain a couple of things and make you feel really confident and equipped with what goes on. How do you make money? How are you recognized within our company and within our team? And what you can kind of do to set yourself up for success. So just to give you a little kind of overall summary of what we're going to be talking about today, some words that you're going to hear are Success Club. I'm going to define that. Personal volume. I'm going to define that. HDPV. I'm going to define that. And then I'm going to give you a look into my personal back office and give you some areas to start tracking if you want to see growth within this business. Because for the longest time, I didn't track it and wanted things to just grow naturally. My big thing was like, oh, I just want this business to evolve organically. But the reality is, if I was to go out and open up a brick and mortar shop, it doesn't evolve organically. You have to pay attention to it like a business owner in order for it to grow like a business owner. And you kind of have to know some basic vocabulary in order to do that. And then at the end, I will open it up. I know Michelle is here live, so I'll open it up for questions from Michelle or anybody else that pops on. And if you're watching the recording and you have a question, be sure you just send me a message and I will answer your question. So the first thing that I'm going to define for you is Success Club. So Success Club is really an arbitrary thing. If you go to any other business, Success Club is not a thing. Success Club is a Beachbody created vocabulary word. And so basically Success Club means for every one person that you enroll with a challenge pack, an HD, which I'll go back and define that more specifically, but a home direct, meaning an auto ship order of 90 PV or more. And I'm going to explain all that more in depth in just a minute. But that basically means an HD order of Shakeology, an HD order of Recover and Energize, the bundle together, or an HD order of 3 boxes of beach bars in one group. You get 2 Success Club points. Beachbody has done lots of analytics and measured all kinds of numbers and rates of success and who does what and how much money they make and all the things. And what they have determined is coaches that hit Success Club 6 or more. So if 6 divided by 2, right? If you're getting 2 things for every one person, is helping 3 people a month. So if you help 3 people a month and get 6 Success Club points out of that, they're saying that your business, if you continue that month to month, is scientifically proven or numbers proven to show that you will continue to gain income throughout each month. And so they set that as their minimum bar of success, why it's called Success Club. That's where they begin rewarding people. When I say rewards, I mean things like swag. I was trying to look around my office to see if I had any like swag sitting around, but like I earned a Theragun this last year, a sweatshirt, a tank top, a hat. I mean, like stuff like that stuff. The other thing that Success Club earns you outside of money is trips and incentives and things like that. Like we go on the Success Club trip every year, and it's an international destination usually where we all travel and go celebrate the success. You earn that by earning Success Club points, because Success Club points are not dollar bills, right? And this is kind of where things will get shifty a little bit, because we're going to talk about volume and Success Club points, because people get that really confused sometimes. And I understand, like until it starts happening regularly, it doesn't make sense, right? Success Club points are not dollars. They're made up points to reflect your enrollments per month. At the first of every month, they turn over, and every single coach in our network starts back at 0. So you're literally only earning those points in the month in which you're in. So like right now we're in January. So say today I went out and enrolled somebody with a challenge pack. Tomorrow, my back office, it usually takes 24 to 48 hours for them to reflect in your back office. Every time I get a new coach, they're like, oh my God, I signed up I don't see my points. And I'm like, yes, because they have to actually process the order. So usually it's 24 to 48 hours, and then they reflect in the back office. Sometimes it's slower if it's crazy or whatever, or there's a big launch or something like that. But they reflect in the back office. So say that happens today. And tomorrow, my mother-in-law comes to me and she says, hey, Danielle, I really want to drink some Shakeology. Can you help me order some Shakeology? And I say, yes, of course, mother-in-law, I would love to do that for you. Let me send you a share a cart, and I can walk through. I'm going to walk through share carts as well toward the end of this, just so you have that knowledge too in this one little package of a call. But we always set them up with an HD order, because the other thing is Beachbody's very smart, right? They're a very smart business. So while we want Success Club points, we as coaches want Success Club points, what do our customers want? They want the best deal, right? They want to save the most money. And so they have made it so that home direct, or auto ship in other companies, they call that, the home direct orders save the most money in shipping. So that's the way I explain it to people. Hey, mother-in-law, we're just going to set you up with a home direct order because you get $3 shipping or $4 shipping or whatever it is, like really cheap shipping. I also get points. The thing to note with that is if mother-in-law went on and ordered herself without a share cart and she selected one-time order, you do not get points for that. She also paid like $14 in shipping, which is silly. So always make sure, if people want singular products like Shakeology or the Energize and Recover bundle or the 3 boxes of Beach Bars, that those are put on home direct. You can always cancel home direct very easily with live chat, or you can go in and delay it and move the dates and stuff like that, or change your flavors. But you always want it on home direct, because like I said, you get the points, they save the money. Okay. So I enrolled my mother-in-law and got her some Shakeology. And then, 2 days later, 3 days later, somebody calls and says, or somebody messages me and says, I want to do what you're doing. Can you help set me up with an enrollment package? Yes, I sure can. Clickety clackety, get them an enrollment cart. They purchase, or I shouldn't say an enrollment cart, a challenge pack. They purchase. Now I'm at Success Club 6. So we call it SC6. That's just short for Success Club. So now what does that mean? So there's 2 directions you have to make sure on this, because having Success Club 6 is great, but that doesn't make you Success Club qualified. Success Club qualified also includes you as the coach having some specific things in place to be qualified, because you can enroll 3 people. And if you are not Success Club qualified, you don't get the rewards for being in Success Club. You still get commissions. You still get shouted out on our team recognition board. You still get, the things that maybe actually like tangibly mean something to you, but you're not Success Club qualified. So that means you don't get any kind of rewards that Beachbody offers. So like if you're earning the Theragun or the tank top or the whatever, you don't get that. You aren't applying your points toward your trip, which that's a whole separate like number system. But just know that for every point you get, every Success Club point you get, you earn dollars toward the trip. So if you aren't Success Club qualified, you forfeited those dollars. The other thing is our team just hit Elite this year. So Elite is built on points. This call is not about Elite, and that's a whole separate beast in and of itself. But part of earning Elites is a point system. Like we had an issue on our team where one of our coaches last month hit Success Club, but she wasn't Success Club qualified. So we did not get the Elite points for it. So, we got it all fixed up, but that's what I mean, where there's a difference between earning Success Club points and being Success Club qualified. So the other thing that being Success Club qualified does for you is once you hit Emerald, and I'm going to explain that as well, but you hit Emerald and you helped 3 people that month. If you are also qualified, that means you get leads from Beachbody. So when Susie Q in the middle of the night gets on and sees an ad for Beachbody on demand, and she's like, I think I'm going to sign up for that. and Susie Q gets on and creates herself a little free account, if you are Emerald, you hit Success Club and were Success Club qualified in the previous month, Susie Q, you don't know Susie, but Susie can become your customer. And so 3 weeks down the road, Susie's tried 21 Day Fix. She loves it. She's like, I'm going to get me some Shakeology. I'm going to get online. She doesn't know that you're her coach, right? Like, hopefully you will have reached out to her, but she doesn't know you from anybody else. So she buys it. Guess who gets the commission? You do. You just got a free customer and commission simply for doing your job the previous month. The other thing is, so Beachbody, like I said, Success Club 6 is the minimum marker, right? Success Club 10 is the next step up from that. I personally have set Success Club 10 as my minimum marker because I don't want free leads. I want what's called paid leads. So paid leads are when Susie Q goes online and instead of enrolling for a free account, Susie enrolls for a challenge pack. Susie's order can go to me because I had Success Club 10. I'm over an Emerald coach and I am Success Club qualified. So that means I didn't just get a free customer. I got free money because Beachbody, it's just a like rotating system. So as fast as people come in, it's just like, okay, if there's a list of 3,000 people, they just run down the list. Person 1 goes to her, person 2 goes to the next one, 3, 4, 5, and down on the line. They get to the bottom of the list, it goes back to the top. So for example, and I feel like I need to put the income disclaimer in here right now. So insert income disclaimer. But for example, I probably make, by being SC10, being Success Club qualified, and being above an Emerald coach, on average per month, I probably make $200 to $250 in paid leads, meaning I did not go out and seek those customers. I did not go out and find people to enroll. I did not have to wait for people to come to me. Beachbody, just in the revolving door of the lead program, gave those people to me. Now, back in April, when COVID hit and everybody and their mother's brother's sister signed up for Beachbody On Demand and purchased that, I made $495 by literally just doing what I've been doing every single month. So that's why when we talk about like, oh girl, you got to get to Emerald. Oh girl, you got to get to Success Club 10. Oh girl, you got to make sure you're Success Club qualified. That's why. Because what I want as your upline coach is for you to get the things that you deserve to have with this business, right? Like, so that's why it's not like, oh, the team benefits from me doing this or that. I have your best interest at heart, and I want to see you do the best you can possibly do with this business. Okay. So that is the leads program. So I want to make sure that you understand what it means to be Success Club qualified. So in order to be Success Club qualified, it's really very simple, but it is probably the number one thing that trips people up because they don't understand it. You must have a 90 PV HD order in every month in order to be Success Club qualified. So for example, I'm going to use my coach that we had, a learning experience with last month. She still bought Shakeology, but she accidentally switched it. She went in to switch her flavor. And when she went in to switch her flavor, she accidentally selected one-time order instead of monthly subscription. That means that HD part was not in effect on her order, meaning she was not Success Club qualified. We submitted a paperwork, it's all fine, but little mistakes like that mean you don't get to earn the full reward for what you're doing. So PV is personal volume, and I'm going to go into that here in just a moment. But so a 90 PV order, I have a list of things in the back in our team page that explain what 90 PV is. But to be honest, the easiest way to make sure you always are Success Club qualified is to put yourself on a Shakeology home direct order and don't touch it. That it's as simple as that. I've had this business for it'll be 7 years next November. So a little over 6 years at this point. I have never once canceled my Shakeology order. I've changed flavors, but I never touch my Shakeology order because I don't want to have to think about it. I'm just trying to make it life easy on myself. Even when we moved, I was like, nope, I will figure it out. I'll have it shipped to my mom. Like, you can change the shipping address. That's totally fine. But you don't want to change that unless you want to try to start figuring out in your head, okay, well, what do I need to do to get this? And da 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 da. I just say, get your Shakeology order. You're drinking it every day anyway. Leave it on home direct and don't mess with it. We have other, like my husband's account, Beachbody allows you to open up a U+2, which I'll go into that very briefly here in just a moment. But Beachbody allows you to open up a spouse account, or as you grow your business, you can even open up a second version of yourself and a third version of yourself and all this other stuff. But that's not Coach Basics. That's way down the line. But anything else I want to order, I just order it under my husband's account, and I manipulate his account all the time. Sometimes we get Recover and Energize. Sometimes we get Beach Bars. Sometimes we get Bevy. Sometimes I change his stuff all the time. I never change my stuff. So, I wanted to explain PV for just a minute. So PV means personal volume, and PV is made up of a couple of things. PV is made up of your own personal orders and the orders of those who purchase underneath of you as customers. And I'm going to explain the difference between a customer and a coach in buying things underneath of you, I guess is the simplest way to put it. But every single product that Beachbody has in their inventory, whether that's a digital product like Beachbody On Demand or a physical product like Shakeology, has a PV attached to it. The reason they deal in PV and not dollars is because we are an international company. So if we were to deal with dollars, it's not equal in Canada. So $50 in Canada is not equal to $50 in the US is not equal to $50 in the UK, is not equal to $50 in France. So they've assigned a volume number to that item so that it's consistent across the board, so that they don't have to say, okay, well, Michelle in the United States, you get 90 PV, but Michelle in France, you get 86 PV. Like, it's just consistent. And I appreciate that because then I don't have to think about it. Shakeology will always be 90 PV. Energize and Recover stacked together will always be 90 PV. 3 boxes of Beach Bars will always be 90 PV. I just don't have to think about it. Anything I can do in this business that I don't have to use brain cells on, sign me up for it. So like I said, every single item has a PV attached to it. Energize is 38. I know that off the top of my head. Recover is 52. And I'll kind of insert in here just, for helpfulness sake. If you are not concerned with building a business necessarily, but you do want to maintain an active account, all you have to have is 50 PV. Just order a thing of Recover, order 2 boxes of Beach Bars. That keeps your account active. That does not qualify you for Success Club. Like I said, these are 2 different avenues of things. And most people are like, oh, this is so confusing, Danielle, I don't understand it. I'm not going to worry about it. Honestly, as you continue building a business, it will become important to you, and you will understand legs and volumes and HD PVs and all the things because it now matters. So if you're just a discount coach, that's totally fine. All you're doing is getting a discount. You're either active or you're inactive. Inactive coach just means you're not earning commission. That's all it is. It doesn't mean people can't buy from you. You just aren't going to earn commission until you're over that 50 PV mark. So for example, if you're an inactive coach and someone orders Energize, you will not get paid during your pay cycle until someone else orders something or you order something that pushes you over that threshold. Basically, it just means they're not going to send you a check for $4. kind of thing. You know, you have to be active enough for them to cut you a check. The money doesn't go away. They're not like, ooh, she's not active, so we're going to hold on to this money. It just means it's sitting there idle until you cross the threshold, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Okay. So with that said, like I said, personal volume becomes very important because oh, good. Mara's hopping on. Personal volume also means sales. Like if we're just going to get down to brass tacks and speak very plainly here, person or volume in general is sales. And so as you continue to grow a team, you will also have team volume. And I'm going to go into a little bit of team volume, but because this is Coach Basics, I do kind of want to keep it a little more simple. Team volume accumulates when you have a team. If you are not enrolled, you do not have team volume. So that's just kind of, and basically team volume means the amount of sales your team as a whole is accumulating. So I'm going to stop right here and include a little bit about Emerald. What does it mean to be Emerald? So Emerald is literally 2 active coaches underneath of you, 1 on each side. So Beachbody is a binary system, which basically means we don't do pyramid, because pyramid would mean that every single person is one, like underneath of a singular person. Beachbody operates on what's called a binary system, meaning you have legs and each of those legs operate independently. And when someone enrolls under you, they also have legs that operate independently. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what that looks like, just so you have an understanding. But Emerald at its purest form, if you're like, I'm setting my goal as Emerald, Danielle, what do I need to do? You need to have a 90 PV Shakeology home direct order. That's the first step. Second step is you need to enroll 2 people with a challenge pack as a coach. That's it. Your very first 2 people will always go in the right spots. They will always be 1 on the right and 1 on the left. Now, after the first 2 people enroll, so like say we're going to operate on the fact that Michelle, you're a brand new coach, right? You've come into this for the first time. You're going to build a business. You're like, Danielle, I want to be Emerald. I want to hit Success Club and I want to earn my tank top. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. So you've enrolled your first 2 people. Yeah, your tank top. That's the best. You've enrolled your first 2 people. And now you have your third. Now this is where a little strategy starts coming into play. The third really doesn't matter, but what about the 4th and the 5th and the 6th? And you want to keep bouncing them back and forth. And I'm going to show you guys a visual too, because I'm a visual learner and I really need to see visuals to understand this. But until you get close to diamond, all you want to do, because diamond's really the next major rank after emerald, all you want to do is bounce back and forth. This is going to keep your business and all of that volume growing consistently. So the next part about this is you're going to start hearing words like strong leg and weak leg. And again, I'm going to show you a visual of this, but strong leg, and again, it doesn't matter until it matters. And once it matters, you're like, I'm going to figure this out. Strong leg means other people in your upline are adding people to your downline. They are not your personally sponsored coach. You in no way got the commission for their sales, but you do get team volume points for that. So that's why when we talk about like, ooh, your placement really matters, don't go inactive because you're losing all that volume. That's why that actually matters. And so strong leg means, for example, Michelle, I'm just going to use you as my little talking point here. So here's me at the top and Michelle is over here. She's down here. She's like, say on my left leg or my right leg. Everybody on that same leg that she is on, that I enroll underneath of her, all of that volume drives up to Michelle. But Michelle doesn't get paid on that volume until she matches it over here. So say, and I'm going to give you guys a visual here in just a second. We're going to screen share and give you a visual. But this is Michelle's strong leg, because myself up here and every single coach underneath of Michelle is continuing to add coaches on that leg. Her weak leg is this inside leg. meaning Michelle is the only person other than her own personal team adding to this leg. That's why it's weak. So we are stronger together. We're weaker by ourselves. That's how I remember it. It just means that you're the only person adding to that leg. Okay. So let me screen share and give you a visual of this. And this is, I feel like I also need to insert a little Beachbody income disclaimer because you're seeing my actual things here. So this is not, I don't have a made up account I can show you. So let's go to, there are several ways to look at your downline. So I personally prefer to look at sponsorship drill down, but for visual sake, we're going to look at graphical genealogy for just a minute, just because that's literally a graphic of our genealogy here. Okay. So this is like putting cute little people in places. So there's me. There I am. And so I have a right leg right here and a left leg. Yeah. What's up? You can't see it?
No, it's just your like background.
Ew. Okay. Hold on. Thank you for stopping me. Let's see. How do I? Oh no. Oh no, this isn't gonna work. Okay. Okay. New plan. Where is my, give me just a moment to get my whiteboard set up. Because this is the problem that I was having before where it will say it's sharing, but it actually will not let me share my screen. Okay. I'll have to figure that out within. Thank you so much, Michelle. I would have hated to have a bunch of stuff like a long part of this video where you can't even see what I'm talking about. Okay. We're going to do this on a whiteboard then. Thank God for whiteboards. They're my favorite thing. Although this one's really dirty. So, and the stuff has been on it for a long time. Okay. Do you have any questions so far, Michelle, that I can answer while I'm erasing this?
I don't think so. I think I've generally have understood most of where you've gotten to. Right now, what you're about to explain is what I want to know.
Yeah, totally. I'm glad that, I had thought when I was going to do this call that we can use it for our team throughout, but I think that this is going to be really, really helpful to understand. Although I do really wish I could share my screen because I was going to show you like specific things, but I can just do it on this instead of, so Danielle.
I'm logging into my account now so I can follow along.
Great. Okay. So here we go. We're just going to do this on whiteboard. So there's me. And this is my right leg. So I'm going to turn this way. And this is my strong leg. So this means that all of these people down here are not just my people. They're also my coach Jackie's people and the people above me that she signed up before me on that side. So this volume, and I can use real numbers here, even though, like I said, income, disclaimer, all the things, because, I've been working this business for 6 years and I, do work the business. Okay, so my volume on this right leg is 149,308 as of today. Okay, let me go back here. So that's my volume over there. I did not sell this much stuff, okay? I did not. This is everybody on my personal team because I add people over here too. On my personal team, Jackie's team that's on this leg, anybody that decides to build a business, like not hypothetically, there's another girl underneath of here, Christy Krebeling. So Christy Krebeling, she's I think she's either a diamond coach or an almost diamond coach. Everybody on her organization, all of that volume rolls up to here as well. This is my weak leg. So this is just me and my team. So that means Michelle, and Michelle, you're on my weak leg. So I'm going to actually draw you in here. So there's Michelle. And Michelle has a team as well. So Michelle, Mara's popping back in. So Michelle, you have a strong leg. Your strong leg is going to be your left leg. and your weak leg is going to be your right leg, meaning that my team, and you are really high up in my organization, meaning I signed you up not recently, right? Because that's when people say I'm high up in her organization, that just means you're closer to the top over here. Because, like, above you is my husband. He's my highest person in my organization on purpose. So you have a coach here, you have a coach here. I don't know. I'd have to look at your next one, so I don't want to do whatever. But say so right now you have a coach here on one leg and you have a coach here on the other leg. You are emerald. You're an active emerald. So you have a 90 PV HD order and you are emerald. Say you help 6 people or 3 people this month. You now made Success Club. And so next month you're going to get the benefits of Success Club. But hypothetically, say one of your coaches goes inactive. What does that mean? If you don't have an active coach to replace that person, or if that person does not make an order, you will lose your emerald status. You can always regain it the very next week. But what has happened is, here, I'm going to do again actual real numbers. So how do I want to say this? My weak leg volume is 2,900. So I'm going to talk about cycle bonuses here in a minute, but I just want to make sure we understand strong leg and weak leg, and they have to in order to maintain rank, they have to be a certain thing. So like I said, if that you lose your ability to cycle bonus when you drop out of your rank. So it doesn't make it's not a I mean, it is a bad thing because you're losing money, but like nobody died. So it's okay. Just regain your rank, get to moving back along, right? It happens to people all the time. They fall in and out of ranks. You just need to continue to build your business so you don't fall out of the rank. Okay. So then say the next week she makes her HD order, you pop back to Emerald. Yay, you're going to get a $14 cycle bonus now. When you're Diamond, you get an $18 cycle bonus. I'm going to explain cycle bonuses here in just a moment, but like I said, strong leg, weak leg. Strong is we are stronger together. Weak is you're the only one and your team is adding to your weak leg. The only time it will ever get confusing is if hypothetically, so say this is my strong leg and it's strong because it has 149,000 PV points sitting there. But say Michelle is like, you know what? I just want to go 15-star. I think I want to be the #1 coach in all the land. I think I'm going to be a baller. And Michelle enrolls like a boss, and Michelle builds herself some kick-ass organization. Michelle can flip my legs. That's what happened if you look at like some of our upline team, Meredith Ganal and Moira. Moira is the #1 coach in all of Beachbody right now. Well, she flipped Meredith's legs, meaning now her organization is so strong on Meredith's week that her strong leg cannot catch up because she doesn't have balance there. Okay. That's kind of a more advanced thing, but I just want to let you know that just because you're strong and you're weak might look like something today. If you enroll a baller coach on your week, it can flip. Okay. So strong leg, weak leg, Emerald is one coach on each side. Again, your first 2 people, they're going to go one on the other side. It's when you continue to add, and this is what I just teach all of my team. That's what I'm going to teach you guys right now. Always, when you add somebody, go into your back office and look where they landed. There's a thing in there called preferred placement. I personally don't believe preferred. I don't want to give a computer direction of my business. I want to be in control of my business. So I always check, and I want to, in the beginning, make sure that they go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, one and one, until we have, a pretty solid team going on. And then we can talk more advanced strategy. Okay. Michelle, where are you? Okay. Hold on. Unmute yourself. I can't hear you. You're showing me, but there you go.
Oh, I wasn't talking. This is the page
Yep,
that
that you
shows,
can look at graphic genealogy. So that's going to be actual like physical people. And I think
right.
that that's helpful sometimes, but most of the time what I look at is what's called sponsorship drill down. So if you go to monitor my business, and that's what I was going to show you right after graphical genealogy. If you go to sponsorship drill down, because, and the reason I say I wanted to start with graphical is because graphical is the only way you can see your upline coaches people. And that's the only way you can really
Mm,
tell strong leg versus weak leg. Okay. So you have 3 people on your left and 1 on your right. So if your person on the right went inactive, you would lose emerald. So you just need to make sure your next person, you enroll them on your right.
okay,
And then you
that
just
makes sense.
bounce back and forth and make them equal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Very cool. Okay. So let's talk about cycle bonuses really quick. I'm going to leave these numbers here because this is a really helpful thing. Again, and I kind of want to pause the video here and say, if you aren't an emerald or you're not building a business, cycle bonuses don't make any difference to you. You're not getting any money because you can sell all the things that you personally want. But if you don't have the rank of emerald or above, you're not getting a cycle bonus. That's why we push emerald so hard, is because emerald is where you open up your Beachbody bank account. And when I talk about a Beachbody bank account, it is honestly, it's fictional, right? Like it's there's not like a bank of Beachbody where you can walk in and cash out kind of thing. It's just a reflection of points. And so, like I said with PV, every order has a certain amount of personal volume attached to it. So those volume points accumulate. And this is where we're going to get into a little math here. And we're going to start like learning a little bit. Like we went from coach basics, like 101 to coach basics, like maybe 102 or 201 here. So we're kind of shifting into a little bit of a higher gear because again, if you are emerald or above, this doesn't matter. You got to get yourself emerald and you got to get yourself to stay there so that you can start seeing the turnover. It is slow at first. I do want to make sure that I am very abundantly clear at that. I did not start out with the volume that I have. That has accumulated over time and over effort and consistency in enrolling coaches that are enrolling coaches. That is where really big income starts happening here. You will not, I mean, I say that, but I'm sure there's no absolutes, right? But it's really difficult to sell to the level, like again, insert Beachbody disclaimer. Let me look at my paycheck from last week in my primary CBC. My primary CBC's paycheck last week was $644. Okay. So doing a little quick math, if I get $50, we'll just average it out. So 644 divided by 50 is 12.8. I would have to sell 12 challenge packs in order to make that amount of money in a week. I did not sell 12 challenge packs last week. Okay, guys, that income came from our team cycle bonus. After you get moving along quite a bit, your team cycle bonus it should out earn your commission check every time. That's what you want. You do not want your business to solely revolve around commissions, because what that means is your kid gets sick, right? And you go on a family vacation and you can't and decide not to or whatever work your business and you enroll no one. If your business only consists in commission, you make $0. That's not a sustainable income. That's a sales income. What I want to help you build is a sustainable income, which means if I want to take a break and I want to take a break, I mean, this is my job. So like, if I want to not sell a challenge pack in a week, I still make a paycheck because our team is building. The team that I'm mentoring is building. And so that's where this, team cycle bonus starts to come into play really heavy. Again, begins slowly. 14 is 14, right? But then you become diamond and then it's 18. And again, 18 is 18 until 18 is 644. You know what I mean? Like it starts to roll over. The other thing to note is I don't cash out. We're going to use the term cash out, even though that's not really a Beachbody term, but I'm going to use the term cash out. I don't cash out on this amount. I cash out every week on this amount. So on your strong leg, it has to be 200 points. In your weak leg, it has to be 100 points for you to earn, we'll talk at emerald level here, to earn $14, right? So if I was an emerald coach and I earned $14, my paycheck would be $406 this week because of this. So I cycle bonus 29 times. That's why when you have like a true weak leg, and a weak leg and a true strong leg, it's really easy to figure out because it's just 29 times $14. So it gets a little more confusing if your legs are more balanced. But like in the beginning, here, we'll just kind of squirrely it off to the bottom. So say I don't have a true strong leg. My strong leg number is not this. Say my legs looked more like this. So 2,900 to 3,100. I do not cash out on 29 cycle bonuses because this number, I'm only cycle bonusing when this hits 200 and this hits 100. So I'm not good at math, and so I can't figure that out. Y'all would have to figure that out for me. But how many ever times this hit 200? So I guess I can figure that out. Divided by 2. So I would cycle, right? Yeah, 15 and a half times versus 29 times, if that makes sense. Can you nod or give me a thumbs up, or should I try to explain that better? No, doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's see. So give me an example here. You know what? This will be better. Michelle, go to your back office. And do you know when I say dashboard, do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, go to where the screen has like the snapshot when you first open it up. And it says on the side, it says like profile, team, success club, volume, earnings, road to elite. Do you see that? If not, go click at the very top where it says Team Beachbody and it'll take you back to your dashboard.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so then go and click on volume.
Yep.
Okay. And so you have a left leg and a right leg. And so if you scooch up close so I can see those numbers. Okay. So your right leg volume is 300 and your left leg volume is -15. Okay. So your right leg is your strong leg at the moment, and your left leg is your weak leg at the moment. So when your right leg hits 200 and your left leg hits 100, you would make $14.
Okay.
So basically, in order for your next paycheck to say $14, your left leg needs to hit 100.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. So because right now you do have a true strong leg and a weak leg. It gets confusing when you have more balanced legs. Mara, can you tell me what yours, are you in a place where you can look at yours and tell me what yours are so I can share that with you? Here, hold on, let me unmute or ask you to unmute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was doing placement while you were talking.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm in forms. Should I go to grow my business or monitor my business?
So what we're looking for right now is volume. So if you click at the top where it says Team Beachbody Coach Office, that'll take you back to your thing. Then click on volume. And what are your two numbers?
There we go. There we go. Volume, projected volume, username, projected status.
Yeah, go where it
Okay,
says
there we go.
total team volume by leg at the bottom there.
Okay, so my left leg right now says 253.
Okay.
And my right leg says 284.
284. Okay, so you have more equal legs. Okay. So this means Mara will cycle once this week because one of these legs has 100 and the other leg has 200. But the thing is, it doesn't wash every week. You have what's called carryover volume. So we'll do minus 100 here, minus 200 here. So at the end of this week, say nothing changes between now and Wednesday. No one enrolls anyone, no one sells anything. Like this is Wednesday night at midnight because that's when it turns over. Your legs will look like this. You will have 84 and 53. Make sense?
Yes.
Then you'll be building on that. So that's what I mean when I say equal legs and unequal legs. This is unequal legs. There is no way every single week that I will not cash out the maximum amount on my weak leg because this number is so high. And again, that's just because of time and consistency. It's not like I didn't personally do a whole lot of this. This is just where I'm placed and whatever. And so because of that, I will continue to always be able to use this full 29 cycles. Unless at some point, like I said, weak leg happens to flip and then all of a sudden I can't and they're more equal. So that's when things get a little more complicated. But for now, what you're looking for is one side to be 100 and one side to be 200. That will equal $14 for you until you're a diamond, and then it equals $18. And again, you're like, okay, 14 versus 18, that's not that big of a deal. But remember, I said that I will cycle 29 times this week, and that equaled $406 if I was an emerald. 29 times 18 is $522. And then it does start making a difference. You know what I mean? Like that's over $100 more just because I'm a diamond versus being an emerald. So that's why, again, you hear people say like, we want you to be diamond. We just want you to get the maximum amount of bang for your buck, you know, because it does make a difference in your bottom line and what you can bring home to your family to support your income. So that's team cycle bonus. I know that that's a lot to digest, especially if you're a brand new coach watching this. I kind of want you to just like put that out of your mind because really at the end of the day, we're here to help people. And the more people we can help, the more income you will make. Getting consistent with daily activities is going to be what moves your business forward. And that's the part that I want to, I'm going to pull this up, but I guess it doesn't really matter if I pull it up because you guys can't see my thing. Shoot, let me see if I can find a hard copy that I have printed. Toot. Actually, I don't think I have one handy because I sent them off to Kinko's to get printed. A friend of mine told me about this cute little thing that she does where she gets 52 business activity pages printed at the top of every year. And she gets them spiral bound at Kinko's. And then she just has her business activity tracker all together. She doesn't print them out every week, which I think is fantastic. But anyways, if you go into our team page and if you want to follow along here and you can search at the top BAT, usually it pops right up. Let's see here. Oh, why did I click that? I need to it's in the files section, but I was trying to make it quick for us. In the files section, there is a thing called, where is it and what is it called? I just have it saved on my desktop, but it's called New SC Tracker if you're looking for it. Actually, I think I'm just going to print one really quick so that I have a visual for you guys to see when I hold up. But this is what's called the Business Activity Tracker. And the Business Activity Tracker is, again, you're talking about Beachbody, a very smart company who chose to ask the most successful coaches in our industry, what do they do every single day to, like, on the most basic level, not what do you do every single day to get yourself to number one in the company, but every single day on the most basic level, what can a brand new coach do to continue to build their business when done consistently over time. And after polling all of the coaches who had seen success in this business, they came up with the business activity tracker. And so this is just, I'm a checklist kind of girl. I love having a checklist. And this is kind of, oh man, that's going to print the whole thing. Okay, it's 2 pages. And the back page, which is really helpful too, is just a list where you can list out the people that you talk to, the date that you talk to them, some notes, and then if you followed up with them or not. That's a very helpful little piece too. I use a different kind of tracker, but that's super helpful too. And the business activity tracker is split into a couple of different sections. I have done team calls on this. I have done videos in our team page about this. I have talked about the business activity tracker till I'm blue in the face, because the reason I talk about it so much is because everyone thinks people who are seeing success in this business are doing something that they don't have, or they have something, or they're doing something, or they have this magic sauce that I just don't have. The reality is we don't. We have consistency in these things. And when done consistently, this will bring you results to your business. Yes, you can refine pieces of it. You can do development and personal development, get on team calls and really understand good ways that make this effective. But the reality is, from the very top coach of the tippity top down to the coach who's receiving a consistent paycheck every week, this is what they're doing. So it's split into 4 sections. We have 4 vital behaviors: proof the product works, connect, invite, and follow up. This is your income producing activities right here. Get people results and do personal development. Number 4 and number 1 are what customers do. They're what my most basic coaches do, and they will not bring you an income. What they might do, especially if you choose to share your journey on social media, is you might get a couple of people every now and then that say, hey, I want to do what you're doing, because you're getting results, right? Like, you lost weight, you're happier, your skin is clearer, you're more vibrant. But if you aren't doing this piece, it will not grow consistently like a business. It'll grow like a hobby, or it'll grow like an occasional, oh, that was a nice little paycheck bonus kind of thing, but it's not going to grow like a business. This is where your money is made. And so what does that say? Initiate connections and add followers. So what does that mean? Grow your network. Friend request new people. Find new people to follow on Instagram. Interact with them. I do this every single day. It has a suggestion of 20 minutes. I do not spend 20 minutes on this, you guys. I spend 5 minutes. I literally go through the suggested people on Facebook and I'm like, yeah, you look cool. We have a lot of friends in common. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I go through groups that I'm part of, like hiking groups are a really big one for me right now, because I love hiking. So I friend request people. I think once you start flipping your mindset from I use social media to be a scrapbook of events to I use social media to build a business, it becomes a lot easier to build a network versus, well, I don't know that I want them knowing my personal business. That's scrapbook behavior versus business behavior. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just how you want to use the resource that you have. Okay, do a social media post that showcases I'm just reading backwards for a minute there, the benefits of your healthy lifestyle, or a call to action. You see me do that every single day. That is the most duplicatable thing in the entire world. Follow a coach that's seeing success in the business and see what she's doing. I'm not saying copy and paste her post, but I can guarantee you every elite coach, every coach that made a paycheck this year is posting on social media about it. That's how we build our business, you guys. Like, it's just part of it. Again, you can refine these. You can do a lot of trainings. If you're not good at it, it's fine. Work on it. It's not going to come all together all at once. Update your Instagram and Facebook stories throughout the day. Michelle, you're fantastic at that. Like, I love watching your social media because you're showing how you got your results. That's what this is. Like, it literally is just sharing your experience, and you're doing amazing at it. Respond to all new likes, comments, or views. That's how you build trust within your social media. So if you put a post up and you never look at it or touch it again, there could be 50 people under there that were like, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And you didn't ever look back at your post. So they never got helped. So make sure that you go. And the other thing is, and this starts getting into a little nuancy here, but it also ups your post in the algorithm. So Facebook does not show all of your friends, all of your posts, all of the time. Instagram does not show all of your followers, all of your posts, all of the time. They show the ones that they think, based on their little numerical system, that other people want to see. How do they know what other people want to see? What are people liking? What are people commenting on? How are they responding? Are you interacting? Is there a conversation going? They're like, oh, this post must be important. I will make sure they show that. Or this post is similar to, like, if you ever log on to Facebook and it seems like every single person, this is a really good one, is talking about Bridgerton. I don't even know what that show is, like literally no idea. But everyone on my social media is talking about it. That's because Facebook wants me to believe that it's important. Tricky stuff, huh? So then I'm like, ooh, what's Bridgerton? And now I'm going to go watch Bridgerton because I believe that all these people around me think that this is important. That's what an algorithm is. It's sneaky. I don't like it, but it's the way business is built. Like, it's marketing, and that is what it is. Okay. Couple of little things left and then we'll be done. These two people, these two at the bottom here are the ones that people skip every single time. And they are literally the most important pieces on this if you want to build a business. Invite a certain amount of people. They leave a blank because you can set your own goal, and follow up with people you invited. That's where this piece comes in big time. You got to track something. You got to, because how do you know who to follow up with if you aren't keeping a list of people? For a long time, I tried to just like scroll back through my DMs, and that gets to be a cluster, especially at the end and the beginning of the year, because people are talking back and forth about all different things. And I'm like, I don't know who to follow up with. So I keep a list. But those things are the most vital pieces of building your business. And then the last piece I forgot to talk about is get people results. And that just means after you've enrolled them, don't be a link dropper. Follow up. Again, like, I know that I'm kind of talking to a dead horse here because I think both of you are really, really good coaches, but don't just put people in a group and expect them to thrive. They came to you for accountability. Give them accountability. Follow up with them. Again, Michelle, I see you because you're in my boot camp. I see you do that all the time. You're encouraging. You're calling out your people. Hey, look at this. Danielle posted this. Hey, what about this? You're asking questions in there. You're sharing transformations. That's what we do. So, okay. We are just about right up at time. So if you have to pop off, I totally understand, but I did want to leave room for questions specifically. So if you have questions, please just unmute yourself and ask them. Also, was this helpful? Or is it like word vomit and you're like, oh my God, there's too many things to think about now?
Definitely helpful.
Good. I hope I answered some of your questions. Did you have any other questions?
I don't think so. Not specific about like the specifics of building things. It's more of like personal challenges now of telling myself to get over the inviting people.
I'm telling you that between social media posting and inviting people, I feel like that's all we ever talk about on our team calls, because those are the two pieces that I feel like I personally had the worst time overcoming. And that's how everybody has to overcome. Like, those are the pieces that build this business. And so those are going to be what we talk about till we're blue in the face. Inviting people, the method that I've found really personally productive is because I am consistent on social media. That was like, I know I can do that. I know that every day I can make a post, like, come hell or high water, nothing else. Like, if I can't do anything else, I know I can do that. So then I just go through the people that liked it and go through the people that commented on it and talk to them. And then as my skill level of talking to people became more refined, it became easier just to talk about the invite because they know what I do. What's really, really hard, and this is the part that we talk about on our calls until I'm blue in the face, is if you're not doing one of those pieces, it becomes really hard to gain trust with people, because your trust is gained both ways, both publicly within your posts and privately within your messages. And so when you start getting skilled at balancing those and working both avenues of that, that's when people begin to trust you. Your personal consistency is phenomenal, Michelle. And so to me, you already have that piece down. So then you just go through the people that liked it and commented on it and talk to them. Hey, how's it going? Did you guys have a good Christmas? Did you, how is Susie? Did she get anything fun for Christmas? Are y'all traveling? Have y'all been well? Like small talk a little bit. And then typically Sue, or, we'll call her Amanda because that's your best friend. Amanda's like, and this is really a bad example because Amanda obviously knows what's going on in your life, but like, well, how's Mason doing? And you're like, really good. How are you doing? She says, how are you doing? And you're like, you know what? I'm doing really, really well. I am loving my boot camp. I just had my best friend in there and she got these amazing results. And so you're just sharing something naturally. Have you ever thought about joining our boot camp? You just have to find the words that sound right coming out of your mouth. And that's, I think, that's the hard part.
Yeah, it sounds so salesy.
Right. I mean, and yes, in a way, but also part of what I think about is if somebody never invited me, none of this would ever have done anything. Like you maybe would have found a different coach or whatever, but like none of what has happened in the last 6 years would have happened if my friend wasn't bold enough to say, you're really like I was complaining to her. She didn't say like, Danielle, you're a miserable person. But like I was saying how miserable I was in motherhood and postpartum and like what a hot mess I was. And she literally just said, I started this boot camp. Do you want to do it too? And I immediately was like, no, I don't, because that's stupid. And I've tried every diet and I don't like this and I don't want to do it. And then 24 hours later, I had gone home and talked to Matt and I was like, I don't know, Erica said something about she's doing P90X3 and she's lost 30 pounds and well, good for her. Cause I was totally a jerk before all of this. And I was like, y'all didn't know me when I was a jerk, but I was a big jerk. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. Let me just do some sit-ups and I'll just magically feel better. And he was like, I don't know, I kind of want to do P90X3. I've always wanted to do it. Well, then I was like, you can't do it. She invited me. And then here I am 6 years later. But like, had she just kept quiet about something that she truly loved, and I didn't go to her asking her about what she was doing. I didn't even, honestly, I was so deep in my own shit. I didn't even notice she had lost 35 pounds. Like, I noticed that she was happier than I was, and I wanted to complain to her and make her feel miserable because I felt miserable. And she just had the balls to ask me. I feel like that goes a really, really long way. And the other thing is, I don't blind invite most of the time, meaning you will hear some coaches say, okay, this is what I did. I went through I went through my stories are different. Well, I'll go back to that. But like here, we have this post from yesterday, right? And I go here and God, this thing is glary. That's not helpful. There we go. These are the people, these are the people that liked my post. So some people will tell you, I go to Liv and I go to messages. Hey, Liv, thanks so much. Well, I don't know. I do that, but like, that's because I've talked to her before. But like, if we've never had a conversation or I'm just going through my followers and being like, I'm going to invite you and you and you. Hey, how's it going? How was Christmas? Hope your kids had fun. So I don't know if you've ever thought about joining my boot camp or not, but I'd love to have you join my boot camp. We've never had a prior conversation about it. She's never liked my post. She's never commented on anything. That feels like getting, like yesterday, and I'm sure this person will never listen to this recording, but I had a girl reach out to me and say, I literally haven't talked to her in forever. Like I don't even know that we have a message like history. And she's like, hey girl, how was Christmas? Hope you guys are doing great. I'm hosting an Usborne book party. Can I add you to it? No, you can't. I don't want books. Like, how that feels. So what I decided was that I never wanted to be the coach that did that. So I try to build at minimum, a surface relationship with the person first, meaning I go and I comment on their pictures. I genuinely am interested in what's happening in their life. And then I invite them. And I always give them an out. Like, if this doesn't interest you, that's fine. I just thought you might enjoy it. I know I saw you on Facebook saying like you were looking at Peloton bikes, and that's cool, but there's other options too. Just want you to know. Like, it just starts to flow naturally. But I think where people get tripped up, and Michelle, this is what I would assume, is you just don't have enough practice. You just have to practice, and you just have to fumble through it. And sometimes you just have to sound dumb until it sounds natural. And you don't like sounding dumb, so you just avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because you and I are Enneagram 8s, and we totally get one another. And I'm like, I don't want to sound dumb, so I just won't say anything.
Yeah.
I remember I had started this business. It was November of 2014, went home for Christmas, December of 2014. I had been posting consistently for about a week. Or no, I'm sorry, not a week, about a month. And my sister was like, what are you doing? Like, what is Beachbody? What you're a coach now? And my sister's kind of a jerk. So whatever. I mean, I love her, but she also will never listen to this video. And I was like, I stumbled and I fumbled and I sounded like a moron. And she's like, so do you actually coach people? Like, you tell them how to do squats? And I'm like, no, I like, like, I fumbled through all of it. And I remember thinking at the end of that, like, why are you even doing this, Danielle? Like, you don't know how to talk to people about this. But I also listen to the National Wake Up Call every week and know that they tell me to just keep going and just keep talking about it. And I would look at what my coach was saying to people, because there's scripts, which I hate, but they also work, because then I copy paste the script, I change it to sound like me, and I send it. So that's how I invite all the time. We talk about something on a team call, and I'll ask Carrie, I'm like, well, what are you saying? And she sends me what she's saying about 9-week control freak. And I'm like, oh, cool. I copy it and I like tweak it to sound like me. And that's what I send. It's not like, I think so many people think that this has to be some like thing that you say these words.
Yeah.
The same invites. I mean, my story invites are really basic, because stories, if you are taking the time to watch my stories, you know what's going on. Like, you can pretend like you don't know what's going on, but you know what's going on. You know what I'm inviting you to. I do it all the time, every day, in my stories, all the time. So if I go from a story, so we'll go to stories really quick, and I see who watched it, and we'll scroll back to yesterday. So like, I have stories about 9-week control freak, and I scroll, and Kay Georgie, and I send her a message and I say, hey, Kay, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Saw my story about, like, I call them out specifically. Saw you watched my story about 9-week control freak. Do you have any interest in hearing more information about it? I'd love to send you the video. She can say yes, she can say no. I don't care what she says. Like, that's just part of my daily activity, because that's what my business activity tracker tells me to do. That's an invite. Kay gets back. I'm not asking her to buy anything at that point. I'm asking her if she wants more information. So then she's like, yeah, I'd love to see that. So then I send her the promo video, and I tell her I'm on day 2, and then I make it personal very quick. I'm on day 2 and I'm loving it. The bands are so weird, but like, I really like the way my back is sore because of the bands. Like, I immediately bring it into the present and the like personal. So I'm like, well, what workout are you doing? Oh, well, I bought a Peloton bike back at the beginning of COVID, and I now hang my clothes on it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of conversations I have all the time. I was like, yeah, because people from Peloton aren't texting you and asking you why you aren't showing up in their accountability groups. That's what
I feel like a lot of my conversations are people saying, I wish I had your motivation. How do you stay so consistent? And my personality is to say, I just do it.
Right.
But that doesn't seem very helpful. And they're like, okay.
Right. Well, and I mean, to me, take a little bit of evaluation into that. What do you say? How about the bike that leans?
Yeah.
I don't want a bike that leans. No. I'm good. I will fall. Uninterested in bikes that lean. No, Michelle, I get this. I mean, exact same all, oh, I can't see it. Lawsuit. Yeah, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Um, I get the same thing all the time. Every time I post a transformation photo. Oh my God, girl, you're so amazing, and your results are so killer. I wish and I'm blunt, and I'm like, well, you can wish for it, or you can just join me and do it.
Yeah.
I think starting to get really bold around what you're saying and not being hurtful, but saying like, oh, I know what I was going to say. Like examining how you got the results you got, because yes, you did your results. No one else did that for you. I didn't call you at 5 a.m. and tell you to get up out of bed, but I do accountability every night. And you do log into our group, and those people do inspire you to keep going on your rough days and you don't want to come. So I talk about the accountability all the time, because, and I say it all the time on our team calls too. It's 2021. You can literally get a workout by like logging onto Yahoo at this point. Like anyone can work out, and you don't even need to buy anything. Like just go walk on your street. You can exercise. You can go to the grocery store and buy a bag of salad. The grocery store and your walking and your YouTube videos and your Pinterest crap you found does not keep you accountable. Our group keeps you accountable. Our group is what keeps people coming back over and over and over. Because, I have people in that group who, like, you have been there forever and ever and ever. And it's not because Beachbody. It's because of what we do in the group. And so now, because I talk about the accountability so much, and that's in my vocabulary so much, when people reach out to me and ask for what we do, they talk about accountability. I need the accountability, Danielle. I've had a Peloton bike for a year and never set foot on it. I can't tell you how many people came to me and are like, well, I have a gym membership and I've never used it, or I used it for a week and I just never go. There's nothing wrong with gyms. There's nothing wrong with Pelotons. There's nothing wrong with YouTube instructors. It's the accountability that they don't have. And that's why we exist. And so that's what I amp up all the time. And I would tell people straight up, be like, it's the accountability. I don't can tell you all kinds of things, but the reality is it's the accountability. And that's what you get when you enroll with me.
Yeah.
And so that's what I pump out. That is my message from the get-go. We're made for community, and you can't do this on your own. You can for a little while, but most people don't have the internal fortitude. And especially if they're reaching out to you saying, you're so inspiring, and I wish I could do what you do, and I wish I had your motivation, it's because they don't have accountability. No one in their life cares if they show up or not. So they don't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. All right, my dears. Well, I am going to stop the recording.